Hey, good afternoon, everybody. So today I'm going to try something a little bit different. I've been playing around with a couple of, I guess, low roller, higher denomination strategies that can either get me to a win goal quickly or help me stay at a table longer. A friend of mine on the Facebook forums, and I don't know if he wants to be named or not, so I'm going to leave his name out of it. If you are seeing this and you do want to be named, I'm sure I'm going to be doing some follow-ups. This is going to be lab work, for a lack of a better term. I'm not even going to do it at my table. I'm staying here in my office and going to give you guys kind of a peek at where I am every day, what I do every day. So let me go with some motion here. Oh yeah, and kind of show it off. So right over there, you can see I have a table with a craps layout. And if you look down at the bottom, down on the floor, I even have it's a blackjack and roulette. So I am trying to learn the game of casino gambling, not just one game, but have a backup. And that's a story for another day. But today, this is an experiment. I just want to see if this is going to work or not. So bear with me as I kind of move this camera around and let's see what happens, okay? All right, so let's try this out. So what I'm going to do is two games, or what they refer to as a game within a game. So I've got 10 units for game one and 10 units for game two. All right, now forget about the color of these chips, okay? I just have some reds up here. It could be blacks, it could be greens, it could be whites for bubble craps, it could be yellow. It doesn't matter. So the number of units is what really matters in this. So with bankroll number one, I'm going to be running TRG for win more, keep more. And for bankroll number two, I'm going to be doing the all day play or play all day, whatever we call it. But I'm never going to have more than 4 units at risk out of either game at any given time. Also, I'm going to make a rule going into it. We're only going to risk 1 unit or 1 hand, I guess, on any shooter on the don't pass, okay? So if a shooter hits their point, we're done with that shooter for game one. We'll wait till game two and then we'll make the appropriate bet. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with a 1 unit bet on the don't pass. And my table doesn't quite work here, but you get the idea. So I've got a don't pass bet down here. All right, first thing we got to do, establish a point. And that's a 6, 4, 10. All right, so the point's going all the way down to the 10. Now, like I said, I only want 4 units at risk, so I've got 3 units left to work with. And so I've set these 3 units right down here, just so you can see it. So this is my play area. My win area is going to be right behind it. I don't know if you can even see that, but we'll worry about that when the time comes. So next bet is a come bet. So in the play all day, you have a don't pass, you have 2 come bets, and a DC. So let's see how far we can get. All right, that's 5, 1, 6. This is going to travel to the 6. We're going to bring another unit down into the come. Hard 4. Okay, and I've got 1 more unit that I'm going to make, and I'm going to just say it's up here. This is going to be a don't come bet, okay? And it's a 6, so the 6 is going to travel over here. All right, so this 6 comes down. It gets paid, and we're going to leave the unit here in the come bet. We're going to try to reestablish it. We're going to reuse it, and then I'm going to take this 1 unit that we have right here, and I got to decide, am I going to put it back into my play stack, or am I going to put it back in my ammunition stack? And I think what I want to do is, I think I'm going to put it in my ammunition. You know how I said I only have 3 units working at any given time? Well, now I have a 4th unit to work with. That hopefully will become more obvious as we finish. And as this shooter ends, anything that I have left over here will either replenish my play stack or it will go spill over into the win. Okay, let's just see what we've got going right here. Ace deuce, we're going to lose that come bet. So that's what I was talking about. So now I still have 1 unit that I won a moment ago that I can play with. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to add it out here and see what happens. And we've got a 7 out. All right, so remember, we've got 2 games working right here. So what's going to happen is this one's going to lose right off the bat. But that's going to win. This is going to win. And this is going to win. All right, let's take it slowly. We're going to take this win and this win. Since this is part of game number 2, we're going to take both of those, bring them back over here, and I have 1 unit left over. So that's going to go to my win stack over there. And I think I'm going to try to just lock that win stack. I'm not going to pull from the win for any reason over here. Okay, but down here also on the don't pass, we won on that, and that was game 1. So we're going to replenish our play stack. So I'm back to 10 units, and I have 1 left over. That's going to go in the win. Give me just a second. I want to see if you can see this right here. You cannot. You cannot see any of this. All right, what happens if I move it up? So we can see this. So real quick, let me recap. So this is game 1. That's what I'm playing on the don't pass. We have our 10 units that are what I call my play stack. And then I have 1 that we won extra that went into the win stack. Same thing over here. 10 units for the play stack for game number 2. And we had 1 extra that we worked with from over there. All right, so I'm going to set up for the second shooter. Now, if you remember right, if I remember right, we just move on. I'm going to set up 3 units. 1, 2, 3. So this is going to be what I have to work with. And I'm going to take 1 unit, and I'm going to go to the don't pass over here. All right, got to establish a point. That's a 6. All right, point's going to a 6. Now, 1 unit in the combat, and that's a 6. Okay, so we lost our don't pass. We're done with game number 1 for the moment. This is going to travel to the 6. Now, here's where it gets tricky. What do? Do you take money from... I've still got two units to work with, but do I go on the pass or the don't pass? Do I wait for the shooter to establish a point? I think you just got some options right here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the shooter to establish a point. And in this case, I'm going to go to a don't pass. Sorry, a don't come. Let's worry about a point first. Ace deuce, no point. 6-5, no point. 3-1-4. All right, so we've got a new point. Now, again, I've got 2 bullets left to work with. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can establish a don't. That way these are going to at least offset each other. Let's see what happens. Ace deuce. Okay, well, that's actually good for me. So that don't pass bet, sorry, that don't come bet wins. And again, I'm going to add that win to our units that we have to play with. It doesn't travel. There's nowhere for it to travel to, so it's still looking to see if we can establish that point. 4-2-6. Okay, so that's going to travel over here. But this one is going to come down and get paid. So again, we've got another unit to go into our active, I'll call it ammunition, all right? So we've got 1 more bullet to work with. Okay, over here, we've got a combat we need to establish. That's an 8. Okay, we're going to bring this down and establish another combat. 4-1-5. Okay, now remember, I have 1 unit down here and 3 units for up here. So I am full up here. Even though I've got 2 units left to work with, I'm full. So I'm not going to do anything right now unless one of these, or really unless that don't come gets knocked off, then I might do another one. All right, so 5 or an 8. There's a 4, that's the point. So the putt comes off. We don't have anything down here, so it doesn't really help or hurt us. All right, so here, this one hurt us. So we're going to establish a point on the 6. We did lose that don't combat, but I still have 2 units to work with, so I'm going to make another don't come bet right here. Now this is the scary part. If I hit 7 out right here, lose this one, lose this one, lose this one. 4, hard 4. All right, so it's going to travel up to here. I still have 1 bullet left over here and 3 units left in play. Really wanting a 5 or an 8 right here. Okay, we got the 7. So we're going to lose those 2. Right? We're going to win that one. It's going to get paid. And then the bullet that I had left over, that also, I'm going to take all of that and rebuild that stack. So I am exactly even. I've got 10 units again on my play stack for game number 2. Now that was a lot of in and out, up and down, blah, blah, blah. But that's part of the play all day part of it. So it gives you some action maybe while you're waiting for this bet to come back. All right, so we are on the next shooter. We lost that don't pass bet. So the next bet in TRG4, win more, keep more, would be a 2-unit bet. So I'm going to put 2 units down here, and I'm going to take only 2 this time. Because remember I said I only want 4 units at risk at any given time. So I've only got 2 bullets to work with here. All right, here we go. Coming up. 4, 1, 5. All right, so the point's of 5. One of these bullets comes down to the come bet. Hard 4. Okay. Another come bet. 5. Okay, did not want to see that. Okay, so the puck comes off. This travels up, and I lose those 2 units. Okay, so now we only have 2 that we're working with. And that's a 4. All right, that'll work. So we're going to bring this down. It's going to get paid. Now again, I'm going to add to my ammunition. 6, 4, 10. Now I probably should have made that a don't come, but since I didn't do it, we're not going to do that. Now since I won a unit just a moment ago, I'm going to take this one, and this time I am going to make a don't come bet. Yo, 5, 6. Okay, we lose that. Okay, we're finding the holes in this one. So 5 and 10, that's all we've got to work with. All right, there we go. There's a 5. So pull it down. We're going to get paid. And this time, I'm actually going to go back up on the don't come, and I'm going to pick 1 unit and put it back in my ammunition to work with. 4. All right, puck comes off, and we go to the 4. All right, so this is a come out roll. Aces. I don't have anything going, so it didn't help or hurt us. 9. 5, 4, 9. Okay, so I've got a don't come, and I've got a come bet. I'm going to take my last bullet and put it in the come bar. Aces. And we're going to lose that too. Man. All right, here we go. So we're looking for a 10 really is what we want. Ace deuce. 10. Okay, perfect. Nice. Bring that down. We're going to pay it. I'm going to put it as a bullet to work with. And since I've got a don't come established, we are going to try to establish a come bet. Ooh, ace deuce. Dang it. We're going to lose that too, but I still had 1 bullet left. 6. All right, so I really want a 6 here. A 5. A 9, puck comes off. 7. Okay, so we lose this, but we win here, and we bring it down, rebuild our stack, and again, I'm even. So here's that I am totally clean up here. I don't have any more bullets to work with. We're establishing a point. Those were active. So now I think we just wait. We just roll it out until this shooter 7's out. So there's a 10, a 5, a 4, 8, yo, 10, and of course we get a long roll. 9, puck comes off. 5, puck goes on. 10. There's the 7. Okay, so this shooter finally lost. All right, so if you remember, we lost a 1 unit bet here. Then we lost a 2 unit bet here. So here's where TRG would slow it down and go to what he calls build the bankroll. So we're only going to go back to a 1 unit bet down here. So that means I've got 3 units to work with up here in game 2. All right, let's see if we can establish a point. Yo 11, dang it. So that is the 4th loss in a row on comeouts. That's horrible. Well, comeouts where we knocked our point off. All right, we're not going to do anything with these 3 until we establish a point. 6 is the point. And I'm going to go to a don't come with my first unit. 8 on the don't come. Now we're going to put, I've got 2 bullets left. One's going to the 10. Okay, we're going to win that one. So that's good. So I'm going to take that and put it back in my ammunition to work with. 9. All right, so I've got a don't come on the 8, 2 come bets, 1 on the 9, 1 on the 10. It's a 5. Aces. Oops, no roll. Aces again. Ace deuce. 9. Okay, so this 9 is going to come down. It's going to get paid. It goes into my ammunition rack. And now I'm looking to establish that comeback. 8. Okay, so we knocked off our don't. Gonna travel up with the 8. But I still have 2 units to work with from my winnings. We're going to try to take one of those and we're going to establish a don't. 6. Okay, so that was the point. So now I've got my 3 units established. I've got 1 unit left in waiting. 3, 1, 4. All right, really want an 8 or a 10 here. 4, 1, 5. Yo. 8. Okay, so that works. So that 8 comes down. It's going to get paid. Goes into our ammunition, and we're looking to establish another comeback. Back on the 8. 8 or 10, that's really what we want to see. 9. Boxcars. 10. Okay, that comes down. It gets paid. Another bullet in the ammunition rack. 6. Okay, so we just knocked off our don't. But I've got 3 bullets to work with, so we're going to take one of them and see if we can establish another DC bet. 5. Okay, so I got it. Don't come on the 5. I come on the 6 and the 8. And there it is. There's the 7. So these 2 are going to lose. That one's going to win. And I'm going to take this 2 plus the 2 bullets that I had and replenish my stack. I've actually got 1 left over. So we made money on that shooter on this game. So I'm going to put this back into the backside. So I've got 2 units here, and I've still got 1 unit in my win stack over here, but I'm down. I'm down several units over here. Puck comes off. New shooter. Okay. So we're still trying to slow the bleeding. We really want to see a win down here. So I'm only going to do 1 unit. I'm going to set 3 units aside for play up here. 4, 1, 5. All right, so the point's going to a 5. We're going to make our first comeback. That's an 8. Another comeback. No roll. Aces. We're going to lose that comeback. And I've got 1 left to work with. 5. This keeps getting knocked off. Okay. So nothing left to work with except for these 5 and 8s. That's a 9. Points going to the 9. So we really want a 5 or an 8 right here. Yo. 8. Okay, so that's going to come down. It's going to get paid. I've got an extra unit. This time I'm going to move this comeback over to the don't come. 10. All right, it's going to travel all the way over here. You might not be able to see it because of the puck. And then I've got 1 extra bullet. It's going into the comeback. Back to the 8. 5 or an 8. That's really what we want to see. 10. We did not want to see that. That got knocked off. Nothing left in the ammunition. Again, 5 or 8, that's all I've got. There's an 8. Okay, so it's going to get paid. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put 1 bullet in the chamber there, put that up at the DC. Let's see if we can get this one established. 6. Okay, coming back out on the combat. Aces, lost that one. Man, it's just slowly chipping away at it all. We really want to see a 5, but we got the 7. Okay, so that one loses. That one gets paid. And we're coming back over here, and now I'm down. I'm down 1 unit on game 2, but I'm down 5 units over here. All right, I'm going to keep going. Now this is a grind. This is an all-day strategy. Still going with only 1 unit down here, but we're getting dangerously close to our negative exit point. And then 3 units there. All right. The don't pass is going to go to a 4. See if we can get a comeback. And I knocked it off again. Okay. Just trying to establish a point. Going to the 9. I've got 2 bullets to work with. I'm going to go to a DC on this one. And that was the worst case scenario. We lose both of those. Puck comes off. I had 1 left over in the chamber that's just going to go back into my playlist, or my play stack. All right, we haven't hit the negative exit yet, even though we're dangerously close. I'm going to take 1 more unit back over here to the don't pass. 3 units up here. Okay, so the don't is going to the 10. Combat. On a 6, another combat. 9. Okay, that's going to travel to the 9. Okay, we're going to make a don't come. 6. Okay, that'll be okay. So this one comes down. It gets paid. Another bullet to work with. And we're going to establish another combat. 11. That's an immediate winner. Another bullet to work with. And 7. Okay, this actually is not too bad. Not too bad at all. So this is our loser. But we're going to win here. We're going to win here. And we're going to win down here. So let's pick these 2 up. This is game number 2. Plus these 2 that I had 1 that I hadn't used. And rebuild everything. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5. I am back to exactly even with 2 units in the win on behind it. Now down here, this is a 2 unit win on a build the play stack. The next step is regression level 2, which is a 2 unit bet. So I don't rack these up. I make a 2 unit bet right here, which means I'm only going to have 2 units up here to work with. Okay, we're going to establish a point. That should be off. 6. Don't really want to see that, but it is what it is. Okay, now next one is a combat. 9. Travels to the 9. 1 more combat. And a 4. So a 4, a 9, or 7. I honestly would really like to see a 7. 9, but we'll take the 9. Okay, so that's a winner. This is going to go in our ammunition. Okay. Now we're going to establish that combat. Ace deuce. No, we're not. But we still had a unit to work with. 8. Okay, so a 4 or an 8 is really what we want to see. But we got the 7. So these 2 are going to lose. But finally, we're going to win down here. Okay? So the math on this one, I'm not going to go over it. It's in the flow charts, but the next unit bet would actually be a 3 unit bet here. I've got 4 units, so I'm going to take 1 and put it back into my play stack to rebuild that play stack. Now I've only got 3 here, so I'm only going to be able to make 1 bet up there at the top. 9. Okay, here we go. Jeez. Okay, so that knocked off our 9. This travels up, that went off, so that's the only bet that I have to work with. 6, so we're just playing a 9 or a 7. There's a 4, 10, 5, 12, 6, buck comes off, 7. Okay, so we lost that. So again, here we are, no bullets, nothing on the don't pass. That was a come out roll, so it didn't really, the shooter didn't lose. So we just have to wait and for it to resolve. That was a 7, a 9, a 4, 3, 8, 8, 4, 9. Come out roll, 8, 9, 9, 9. Yo. Yo. Boxcars. 5, 10, 7. All right, so we finally lost that one. All right, so we were up to regression level 3, which is a 3-unit bet. This will be our last attempt for that one, and then it leaves us only 1 unit to work with up here at the top. And it's a loss. All right, so we're just going to stop right there because we have hit our negative exit point. We only locked up 1 unit here, so we're walking away down 8 units here. But what do we got here? We've got 2, we've got 3. I'm only down 1 unit on this side. Overall, we're down, what would that be, 9 units? We're down just about 50%. All right, so I still think there's something to this, but I'm not quite grasping something. I need to go back to my friend there on the Facebook forum, maybe have him watch this and say, how would you have played it a little bit differently? Because his results have been actually quite remarkable. I think I've kind of got it, but something's not quite right. All right, everybody, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. If you would play this different, let me know. I'd love to hear it.